What's up, everybody? My name is Big Mike. In this video, I'm going to take you to one of my favorite thrifting spots for clothing. They range anywhere from $2 to $5 in this particular thrift store. This thrift store specializes in helping children in a certain children's home. So I love to be able to bring business to them wherever I can. And so I'm going to try my best to show you as I search through the brands, through the racks, to see how everything goes. Let's get it started.
How you doing?
All right, so here's
Nope, not at all.
one of my favorite thrift store managers. He always likes to joke around with me
all my stuff, so.
as we come through. This first shirt's Brooks Brothers. That one's been there for months. It's got a stain somewhere on it, so I just need to walk past it right away. Can't really tell what that brand is right off the bat, but rest assured I didn't think it was very good. This was a second Brooks Brothers shirt. This is one I hadn't seen. This one had a very new feel to it, and it's one that I decided to go ahead and pick up. Has a blue tag on it, which means he only wanted $2 for it. So at $2, even though Brooks Brothers can be a flooded market, I decided to roll with that one. I was toying around with the idea of the other Brooks Brothers shirt because it no longer had a red tag. Red tag means $5, but I decided later on to pass on that. This shirt right here threw me off. This is an Omni-Wool shirt. Didn't recognize the brand. Didn't really recognize it as a potential moneymaker. But I did come back to this one. This one's a size large. This is a kind of an outdoorsy brand, so it'd be used as like a base layer, and pulled up comps on it, and it was comping around $17, $18 a piece. So I came back and revisited that one. I realized I was going to be picking up some shirts, so I went ahead and grabbed myself a shopping cart. They had a bunch of new suits laid out. Didn't even bother to ask my price on those because I really don't feel like dealing with suits. Maybe for the right price it would have been worth it, I don't know. That was a Ralph Lauren shirt, but I believe it was, if I remember correctly, it had some stains on there somewhere. It wasn't a stain, it was like a hole in the shirt. Now I lost a little segment of footage, about 3 minutes. Guess it was a little corrupted file. This was a really small white Ralph Lauren polo. I was toying with getting it. I put it in my cart, but ended up putting it back just with the size. And they had a $5 tag on it. So I ended up putting that one back. It's just, I was being a little bit picky, and you would sit on a white small polo for a while, I believe. Obviously, Adidas can be an okay brand. At $5, there was a red tag on there. Wasn't really willing to bite on a $5 tag. A lot of terrible brands. That's a Chico's. For men, Chico's just isn't that good. Sold a couple of Chico's stuff for women, and they tend to mark Chico's up there too, so. As you can see, I'm moving fairly quickly. It's kind of on a time crunch. My mother-in-law was there with me. Once again, another Chico's shirt.
of them don't have paint. Like that, they colors.
They had that little aisle thing right in between where I was trying to look, and so that was kind of a pain to try to work around.
You doing all right, brother?
A lot of junky brands. It's a Ralph Lauren polo. However, that one, you can see the stains on it. That was a pass, obviously. Even at $2, I don't even want to bite on that.
Buenas. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Un día maravilloso, ¿no?
I'm sorry I'm moving a little fast on this. There's just a lot to go through. This was a decent little pickup. That blue stripe pattern was pretty nice. I didn't miss the little hole that was there on the side, on the hem of the sleeve. However, I still think I'm going to get a pretty good price out of that one. Another Chico's, but that one's actually a women's shirt. I don't know. It ended up in the men's section somehow. So pretty much if you see me skipping past it, it's a junk brand. Here's all the suits. I believe they're all like Calvin Klein. This store gets a lot of donations to try to help people out that are struggling. Yeah, those are all Calvin Klein. I wouldn't even know if they were worth it or not. They didn't have a price listed out for them. And to be honest with you, I'd rather people that wanted to get something for an affordable price to be able to get that there. Okay, so this shirt right here kind of caught my attention, the 1MX. See, I come back to it. This is why it's important to comp things out. This actually has a really good sell-through. When I looked it up, I believe the sell-through on it is about 150%, which isn't bad. However, they're usually selling for like $9 or $10. And so when there's a red tag on that shirt, so at $5, it's not worth my purchase. So as you can see, if you're unsure, go ahead and pull out your phone. Hopefully in a place that gets good reception and you can check it out. So I'm going to see how many were listed, how many are sold. And like I said, it showed quite a few on the sell-through. It's just the prices were just not very good at all. And there I am pointing to that red tag. $5 isn't worth it. George, nope. Good rule of thumb is if you can see, here I am, I'm still stuck on this shirt just because of the sell-through on it, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, and wisely so. If you can pick something like, if you can find that 1FX or whatever that shirt is at the bins, roll with it because it should sell. Just a plain white Nike polo. White, once again, is a dangerous color. There's a stain right there. That's a pass. Another Adidas shirt. Once again, really nice, but he had it marked at $8. Not happening.
That's a whole lot better.
But I am checking to see if it's like a tall size or something like that. If it was a tall size, I may have taken a risk on it. That one's got all sorts of stains on the collar. Nautica's garbage. Here's me trying to squeeze around. You may not be able to see brands the way I'm trying to work, but I'm trying to work around that piece of furniture there in the middle. Oh, dropped my wedding ring. That could have been bad news. I ended up putting it in my pocket just because it was starting to slide off my finger quite easily. That was a True Craft shirt. I didn't bother to look it up. I think there was a stain on it. It was a neat looking shirt though. It had kind of a flannel feel to it. That's an interesting shirt. I probably should have looked up some comps on it, but he wanted that $5 price tag. So this one is one I end up going with, a Limpin A. It's like a, I don't know if it's like a trap shooting vest, or you could probably use it for photography or something like that. Really big pockets. Sell-through isn't fantastic on it, but some of the prices that I was seeing were pretty good. So I decided to pick it up. The problem with it is the brand. It's hard to look it up because like everything's, see, I'm seeing like a bunch of Olympic shirts and not Limpin A. What a weird name brand. But I do end up picking this one up. Hopefully it'll sell. They only wanted $2 for it, so it was worth the risk for me. Lots of pockets on this one, even inside the actual vest itself.
I represented us.
I ended up picking this vest up as well at $2.
Well, there you go.
I love it.
He likes to mess with me.
Be $26.
He, I believe this vest I've already listed and sold. Was a little dirty, but somebody made an offer on it, and I went ahead and took it. He likes to mess with me. We've got actually walking through the store, I picked a shirt that he actually wanted, and decided to go ahead and let him have it. And he wanted to buy it from him, like I still haven't even purchased it yet. That was a new with tags. However, I didn't recognize the brand. I just didn't want to bother with it. That's been sitting there a very long time. The problem with it is it's got that little stain there, and plus it's got a local school patch on it. Not really sure how I'd market that, so I just decided to leave it behind. Consensus, even though it's a denim shirt, My consensus is I'm just going to leave it there, stain on the front too. A lot of times you'll find the deals in the pants section. That said, I was kind of rushing through a lot of this stuff, because most people just don't want to dig through jeans. They're harder to find the tags. A lot of cargo shorts, but are just kind of brands that are just not really out there. $5 price tag on it. Eyes odd, that's a no, especially at 5. Columbia. Yeah, that one was pretty ratted out, as you can see. Columbia is one of those borderline brands, whether it's worth picking up or not. There's Levi's. I believe those were 550s. They were in fact not 550s, but 569. Probably should have picked them up. I believe they go for about 20 bucks on eBay, so probably would have been a solid pickup. Sorry. A lot of the vintage Levi's stuff, if you can find the Made in USA tags on them. Red and black bat wings can sometimes do well. Your button fly stuff sometimes does well. Another thing to keep in mind with Levi's, along with Nike, is if you're selling overseas, if it's brand new, you will get a Vero on that. They will pull the listing. You can get suspended. It's probably best even to not sell the used stuff overseas, just to be on the safe side. I didn't recognize the brand on that, and it was too faded on the tag to try to figure it out. Okay, this is where I found the second Omni Wool shirt, and that is the point where it started hitting my slow brain that maybe, just maybe, I need to check the Omni Wool tag out. If you start seeing a bunch of things in one spot and you're unsure about it, go ahead and check a comp on it, because it may turn out to be a score. And so I go ahead and I look up the Omni Wool. And I realize it's pretty good comps. And at $2 a pop, they're selling for around $18 a piece. So that is a big pickup. So now I have to hurry up and go try to find where I left the other one at. course, I get sidetracked by this brand. It looks like a couple of hip-hop type brands. Couldn't find anything about them on eBay though, so end up passing on those. So apparently I found it, but the prices just weren't good enough for me to try to resell them. Either that or the sell-through was just so low that I didn't want to bother with them either. It's me trying to throw a bunch of specifics in to try to get it narrowed down to something. Because they were really nice looking. You know, if I was into that style, that would be something I would want to wear, but sometimes you can't trust your eye with this sort of stuff. $8 price tag. Columbia shorts again. It's a $2 tag on them. I think I went ahead and picked those up. I didn't really see the brand right off the bat on that. I can't remember if I picked that shirt up or not. Looks like there might only be one sold on there. Yeah, I put that one back. It was a brand that I didn't recognize, like Liberty or something like that. It wasn't like Liberty brand like overalls. It was a different brand altogether. It's Adidas Climacool, which is a good brand, but it didn't want to bother because it had a company logo on it. Under Armour. It's a Texas Tech shirt. Basketball. That may have been a worthwhile pickup, but a $5 price tag. I just didn't want to risk that. Alright, this is where I start trying to hunt down that shirt that I'd passed on earlier. Trying to remember where I'd seen it last. And we have a winner. There it is. So 2 shirts that'll $4 that'll roughly turn into $36. Not a bad turnaround. Brooks Brothers sleep shirt. That's a no for me anyway. More sleep shirts. Those have been sitting there a while too. I may have should have looked that one up. I think that might have been a vintage shirt. There's another one of those Liberty Blues or something shirts. I knew better than to try to look it up again. I did not bother to look this shirt up. Might have been worth it, may not have been at $5 price tag. At this point I was like, meh. It may or may not have been a good brand. I have my doubts that it was good. Chaps is garbage. As I'm sitting through this, I never realized how many clothes they just have packed into this place. And it looks like they actually have started trying to color coordinate them too. A lot of times when you're thrifting, you'll kind of come across somebody that you're about to bump into. You'll see what I think is the best thing to do, so you don't get into their way while they're trying to work. Of course, he did move away, but I went ahead and swung around to the other side.
It's good to know the law. Let me know and I can
Bobby Jones golf shirt,
and see if they're good.
and it's not worth it. There's a Columbia vest, fleece vest, and those can be okay. $5 price tag. I didn't want to jump on it though. Like I said, Columbia is right there on that border of do you take it, do you not take it.
No, we were just talking about that. We were hoping you were buying.
At $5, it still may have been worth it.
Get him, Mr. Roberts. I went Versace. Oh,
However, if you get it home and you find that there's some flaws with it, all of a sudden it's really not worth it.
Hey, what's up, bro? Are they still $15? Got a budget that ain't gonna go boo boo boo
What I'm talking about.
Actually, I didn't know what I was talking about.
Okay, all right, and those are big tablets, right? Okay. Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, that's okay, right. Text me your cash app. Okay, all right, right here. Gene, those the big ones? Gene. Hey, put my brother back on. See, the only ones
I think I passed on that Longhorn shirt, that Nike Longhorn shirt, because I think it was a children's size.
Okay, all right, okay, all right, okay, all right. He's gonna text me his cash app. All right. Make sure they own Gene. Gene. Okay, make sure they own. Thank you, darling. Nice to meet you. Okay, all right, thank you. All right, bye-bye.
It was a Nike brand, but also had the school logo on it.
I noticed that. I noticed that.
It's a Nike t-shirt, and they had a $5 price tag on it. That's a no from me.
Ain't no Rolex. This is the Rolex version. This is the Rolex version of the big. This is not the Rolex. What's the name of that band?
Timberland, red price tag. Nope.
I'm open for learning every day. Yeah. You know about it. It's the Rolex President Band. Yeah, that's the President Band. Okay, yeah, I got you. And where are you? Okay, everywhere.
I do actually go through just about all these. I don't think I find anything in here. But then I find a section a little bit further down that has quite a few things. I didn't even bother looking through these pants over here. I'm probably about due to go through them. Now this rack over here, those would be huge pickups. Liberty insulated coveralls. Depending on size and everything like that, you can get anywhere from 50 to 60 to 70 bucks on a lot of these because they're vintage. At a $20 price tag, and given the season that we're in, I decided to pass. It's a little steep, but to be honest with you, it's not a bad asking price, even at 20. Because like I said, you can pretty much triple your money on some of those overalls. But the problem I have is I didn't want to take up my closet space until time for hunting season. And I know by the time hunting season starts getting close, those will have been sold already. If they're not sold already, as they are. Some of that was underwear. Don't try to sell underwear that's not new in a bag on eBay. That's a good way to get your listing pulled and possibly suspended. That was a neat shirt. Kind of a bowling style shirt. But the comps really weren't that good on them, on the brand. But as you can see, if you're in doubt, that phone is a handy tool. Like I said, unless you're in a place that doesn't have reception. It was an interesting brand. I think I ended up comping that one out. I really enjoyed the design on the back pockets, but turned out to be really just nothing worthwhile. I don't remember what the brand on that was, but I think there was some condition issues with it as well. This was a really awkward camera angle, but it was the best I could do with the space in the store. A lot of stuff to comp in here. It was just like a lot of brands I'd never heard of that had interesting designs and stuff, but a lot of these just didn't pan out. all stained up. This was a pretty good find. Some 511. They've got that ripstop fabric. I immediately picked those up. 511 Tactical is kind of, it can be a slow mover. That would have a camo was a good find. This is where I got into a mess of Ralph Lauren polo shorts. And all of these are pretty decent sellers. All in really solid condition. So I kind of hit a little string of good clothes right in a row. Not great, but good. See, I'm checking zippers, checking buttons, checking cuffs of pants. That was an unbranded camo pants. Sometimes you can sell unbranded, and especially camo. But man, that can be really, really hit or miss and probably not worth your investment. Faded Glory with tags, not worth it. These were some more Columbia shorts, a different type. Right off the bat, I don't remember what, but they were longer style nylon shorts, cargo shorts. And being marked at $2, I went ahead and took a risk on them. More polo shorts. Check zippers, check buttons. Those are the sort of things that when you get excited about the stuff that you're finding. See, that one was missing the little tab on the zipper. I put that one back. These I thought were like 511 shorts, which was weird. It's like, dude, that's really weird. I've never seen them before. And when I checked closely, they were just cutoffs. Maybe they could have sold, I don't know. But I wasn't really interested in dealing with modified materials there. That was another set of polo. Another one. And these were all marked at $2 and should fetch anywhere from 15 to 20, just depending on, I believe one of them was actually, was a vintage polo short. It had the black tag. There was a couple others that were like tailor cut, I believe, and those go for a little bit more as well. But even those, they're just plain Jane.
Sorry about that.
You should be able to get, depending on the season, about 14, 15 bucks out of them. This was one of my gamble buys. It was $2. It was a vintage sweatshirt, Las Vegas, made in USA, had the single stitch. Not sure what I'm going to list that at yet. I may end up sitting on that for a while, but I thought it was pretty cool. Brand on that was Painters. I did not bother to look that up, to be honest with you. Maybe I should have. Did I miss a deal on those? I believe those were Dickies Carpenters, but they were beat up. Oh yeah, the crotch was ripped out of them. And they had a $5 price tag on them. Tommy Hilfiger, no. Dude, somebody just scored on some books. Yeah, they're really into books, or they're back there scanning for Amazon. This is where I scored a bunch of decent cassette tapes. I've already picked those through pretty good. They had a lot of 80s and 70s rock and roll. Now it's mostly just like gospel and stuff like that in there. I keep hoping to come back out and find a big old batch of 80s rock again.
Ooh, I'm buying this too.
There you go. Go for it. Until I pay for it, it's yours.
After I paid for it, now it's
After I paid for it, now it's $20.
They've got a huge VHS section. They sell them at 10 cents a pop. A lot of those may be worth it. Probably need to go back there one day, just scan a bunch of them. VHSs for the most part don't sell for hardly anything, but you come across some that have some decent value to them, and people buy them. I've had some success, especially with certain children's programming, old Nickelodeon. If you come across like a lot of the old Blues Clues with Steve, I've had success with Thomas the Tank Engine, especially if you can find some of the older voices like Ringo Starr or George Carlin. Those do pretty well, and they sell pretty quick. Most VHSs you'll sit on though. If you can find a lot of like the old B movie horrors, those usually do pretty well as well. This is where I'm kind of sorting through, making sure that there's nothing with any significant damage that I overlooked. Just kind of doing a quick double check. This is where I discovered that vest was really dirty. But it was mostly just dirt, not really stained. I was checking that one really hard because there was something that just seemed off with the collar. But I think it's just the color of the shirt. I was checking it because it was a lighter colored shirt to see if there was any pit stains, anything like that. Ring around the collar. That's where I found the stain on that other Brooks Brothers shirt. So that plus that little white polo went back to the rack. And it always amazes me, no matter how much I check, I will still find flaws when I get home on things. This back room is crazy. Like, some of the prices they put on some of the stuff back here is just insane. Like those weave balance boards, I think they had them marked at like $15 a piece. I think they just stick random prices on things. This is definitely not a great store to go to if you're into electronics. Occasionally they try to get rid of their stuff and they'll go 50% off. And it may be worth your while on some of that stuff. That camera was marked at $80. And it may be worth it to the average consumer. I don't know. But how often do you walk into a thrift store and pay $80 for a camera? That TV monitor marked at, computer monitor marked at $25. It's like just really random prices that you would never expect at a thrift store. And I believe that was the extent of this trip. Ended up getting 13 items for $52 roundabout. So that's about a $4 per item cost of goods. So it should be a fairly profitable day in one of my local favorite thrift stores. Anyway, with that said, love you guys very much. Speak to you again soon.